morning, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Brother Fred, and we're going to continue on. This is part two of what we were talking about in that battle of getting things out of our lives that we don't want in there. Particularly, we're talking about the use of drugs. And I still got my work boots here, because guess what? See, the work never ends. It's a never-ending workload, and it's a never-ending battle. That's why I wanted to shoot. A friend of mine went on a safari, and he actually took this picture himself of these two lions fighting. And this is the type of, if you could look in their faces and see the ferocity and the intensity that they have, this is the type of ferocity and intensity that you have to have in fighting for your betterment, fighting for your life. You can't be passive in this thing called prevention. You cannot be passive in it. Listen, if your boots don't look like this, you haven't been fighting. You haven't been working. You have to work, and you have to work hard. And more than that, you have to know that you're worth it. You're worth the battle. And so there's a whole lot of things that you have to work on when it comes to prevention. It's not just a simple matter of, hey, you know what? I've been using drugs and I'm going to stop. Okay? Well, that's fine. That's great that you've made a decision to want to stop using drugs, but it's not just that simple. There's a lot of other things in your character and inside your mind and inside your heart that have to be addressed in order for you to stop. Because you didn't just start using drugs one day just because, hey, you know what? I got nothing to do. I'm just going to go and use me some cocaine. You know what I'm saying? No, it didn't happen like that. There was a set of circumstances that caused you to want to use. Case in point, I used to smoke years ago. And I smoked for about 15 years, smoked cigarettes, right? And somebody asked me, they said, man, you work out all the time? You do this, man? You be jogging all stuff, man? Why you smoking cigarettes, man? That's crazy. And I had to think for myself, I said, that is crazy. I don't know why I smoke, you know what I mean? And I had to really sit down and think about it and peel back the layers until I discovered why I smoke cigarettes. You want to know why? I'm going to tell you why. When I was a young boy, I saw this movie called The Mack, right? And there was this guy in there called Goldie, and I thought Goldie was the coolest thing that ever walked the planet, right? And there was this one scene in there where Goldie went into the barber shop, and there was a bunch of his friends sitting down in the chairs, and they were all dressed beautifully, and they were all just talking junk amongst each other. And Goldie went in there, and he was saying something that had everybody's attention. And while he was saying it, he reached in his pocket and pulled out a pack of Cools, right? And he peeled off the wrapper with one hand, cracked it on his thing. A cigarette came forward, and he went like this across his mouth, and a cigarette appeared. And then he went in his pocket and got a lighter and lit it, said something real cool, and blew that smoke out. And I thought as a kid that was the coolest thing that I ever saw in my life. And I used to rewind my 8-track. I used to, that VCR, I used to keep rewinding it and keep rewinding it. And I practiced that as a kid. I started smoking Salem 100s. This is what I started with. And I kept doing that until I had that thing mastered. And mentally, because I thought that that was so cool that he did, I thought that if I did that, man, everybody would look at me like that too, like I was just the coolest thing since Coca-Cola. And I says, and we get involved in so many things because of mental things like that. They affect our self-esteem. They affect our mental capacity to be able to make good judgment decisions about the things that we do. It's just surrounding circumstances, things, but you'll never know. And listen, if you've ever had a lawn and you had dandelions pop up in them, you know that you cannot take your lawnmower and just go out there and mow and mow and mow, and you done cut off all the dandelions' heads and the grass all looks green and you're happy for a minute. But you know what they say? Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, and about 2 days later, you got more dandelions out there than you started with in the first place. You cannot destroy them. You cannot destroy the weed until you get to the root of the problem. And that's what this thing called prevention is all about. It's not about just you stopping or me putting up some type of blockades to stop, I have to change my people, places, and things. Yeah, okay, that's good. You do have to change your people, places, and things. But you first have to find out, well, why was I hanging around those people? Why was I going to those places? And why was I doing those things in the first place? It's good to change them, but you have to know why. If you don't find out the why, you'll never know why it keeps happening to you. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. And it made sense to me, and it's why I've been able to keep on achieving, even during this pandemic. It's terrible. People are losing their jobs, but I've still been able to move forward and move forward. You know why? Because all the places in my life where I had shortcomings at, I did? I didn't just say, well, you know what? I don't like to keep on getting into arguments with people and debates about what's that. So, I'm just going to stop that. No, you know what I had to do? I had to find out, well, why is it that I kept getting into arguments with people? Why is it that I feel like I just have to get my point out? Why is it that I just feel like I don't care what happens, you're going to hear what I got to say? Well, why do I feel that way? Why did I had to check and find out why I felt that way. And once I found out why, I got to the root, I said, oh, guess what? It had nothing to do with arguments. It had something to do with something altogether different. But when I pulled that root up, boop, guess what? No more arguments with people. I don't argue with people about anything. You know why? Because I found out what the root of the problem was. I used to use drugs, but guess what? Don't do it anymore. You know why? I wasn't using the drugs for all of these superficial reasons and whatnot. I had to peel back the layers and find out why. What happened to me? What took place? It's like with the cigarettes. This went back to when I was a kid and I saw the Mack. And then I wanted to smoke because I thought that it would be cool. I would look cool. And guess what? I felt like I had to do that because I felt like just being Freddie and going out here in the world that nobody was going to think I was cool. So I had to find something that was going to make me look cool or feel cool. It was about my self-esteem. So I had to work on that. Build up my self-esteem. I had to start talking to myself and letting myself know the truth about me. You know what the truth is about me? I'm a winner. I'm a family man. I'm a great father. I'm going to be a fantastic husband someday. I'm a great provider. I'm a loyal person. I'm an honest man. I'm a man of integrity. And guess what? I'm a real man about myself. That's the truth about me, and I had to keep telling myself the truth about me. Not worry about I even quit calling myself nicknames. People got all these colorful nicknames you hear, especially in my neighborhood, the killer, 187, dirt dog, do dirty, and all like, whoa, brother. If you keep calling yourself do dirty, guess what? You're going to do dirty. You're going to live up to that name. You know what I mean? Money bags and all this, like, come on. Who are you? Who are you for real? And this is where it starts at. And this is where we're going to end this segment at today. Okay, you got some homework on this one. It's 3 things I want you to do. Okay? And this is really going to help you. It's going to bless you. It's going to help you. And it's really going to help you get on the road to not just preventing the things from happening, but it'll take you to a whole nother level of success because now you're going to begin to find out why this stuff occurred to you in the first place. Okay, first assignment, what you have to do, I want you to go walk and I want you to find yourself a mirror and I want you to stand in front of that mirror. Ladies, if you have on makeup and all that stuff, you know what I mean? Take it off. Take that makeup and stuff off. You at home. Can't nobody see you, girl. Just take it off, right? Take that makeup off And fellas, if you have on a hat and your hat is called Ace Deuce Tray or something to make you look cool, take it off. Take it off, man. Show that old ball patch if you got one, man. You know what I mean? And fellas, listen, sidebar note, if you got hair right here, if you got nothing right here and hair right here, it's probably time to do this. That was just a sidebar to help you out. Okay, listen. Fellas, take the hat off. I want you guys to stand in the mirror and I want you to look at yourself, right? And I want you to tell the truth about what you see. The first step is for you to be honest with yourself about yourself. That's the number one step. Second assignment in this. I want you to then, once you tell the truth to yourself about yourself, I want you to figure out, how do I really want my life to be? Find out what you really like. Because you're doing things and you're probably wearing clothes that you don't even like, but you think that everybody else likes them. You're probably driving a vehicle that you don't really like, but you think everybody else thinks you're cool in it. You're probably living a certain way that you don't really want to live, but you think that everybody else. So I want you to find out, ask yourself, what do I really like? You know, what do I really like? Who am I for real? That's the second thing. The third thing is this. I want you, and this is probably the most important part of this whole assignment. I just want you to do this, man. I want you to give yourself a hug, man. You have to learn to love yourself. This is not a mystical, swami, whatever. We're going to start levitating in the air and floating and this is none of that. Love is a very real thing. You have to start investing love into yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself every day and tell yourself the truth. You are a creation of God's, man. You are something special. You are worth fighting for, and you are going to make it. We're going to make it through this together. Thank you for spending time with me today. You come back tomorrow. We're going to have some more helpful stuff for you. And in the meantime, remember, you are only as good as you want to be. God bless you.